Welcome back to another episode. Today we got a lot to talk about. First, we're going to take a quick look at Netflix. They're kind of entering the live streaming market. We're also going to take a quick look at Uber. They're doing a lot of autonomous delivery pilots, which I think are super interesting. Obviously, this can't be an episode without talking about the semiconductor market, so we're going to take a quick look at Nvidia and some recent rumors about their new generation of graphics cards, which also seem insane. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for free Discord, free newsletter, and a lot of great investing links. So let's get started. I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now. All right, first we're going to take a quick look at Netflix. As I am recording this episode, the stock is up about 1.6%, but if we take a quick look from its 52-week high, the stock is down over 70% at the moment. And we know in the most recent earnings, the company unfortunately lost about 200,000 subscribers, and in the upcoming quarter, they guide about a loss of 2 million subscribers. So this is definitely the biggest thing impacting the company right now. So trying to change things up, right? Netflix is coming up with new ideas. First, we heard of them kind of entering into the gaming market. Next, we heard them kind of be focused into some form of advertisement kind of subscription. And now we're hearing rumors that they are also exploring live streaming for the first time and plan to roll it out on their unscripted series and stand-up specials. So one thing Netflix has done a lot recently has been announced a lot of kind of comedian stand-up shows, and they also have a nice amount of unscripted TV or reality TV like Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, for example, that do have some form of reunions. So and Netflix is kind of planning on kind of bringing maybe some of those reunions to live streaming. Netflix has also kind of created some form of interactive content where you're able to kind of hit the thumbs up if you're able to vote or kind of make decisions. And they're also planning on using kind of those tools in the live streaming services. At the end of the day, I don't believe Netflix is gonna go under. I mean, it's definitely a giant, and it is good to kind of see them kind of change things up. I believe in the market, you can't be unless you're Coca-Cola, right? It's very hard for you to just stay the same. You have to kind of evolve over time and become a better version of yourself. And Netflix believes by adding all these kind of new solutions to its consumers, it's becoming a better version of itself. Do you guys agree with Netflix? Do you believe it's just throwing money with the current kind of tools that it's creating right now? Next, I want to take a quick look at Uber. Uber right now is up about 1.76%. We can see the market is completely volatile. From its 52-week high, the stock is roughly down 53%. I did not think I would see Netflix down way more than Uber in the past year. Right now, Uber has a market cap of about $47.13 billion. And we see reports that Uber Eats is launching 2 autonomous delivery pilots in Los Angeles. And they're going to be 2 different ways. The first is going to be via an autonomous vehicle partnership with Motional. And the second is going to be a sidewalk delivery system, a company that actually spun out from Uber itself. So they're trying to kind of do this autonomous deliver and test it out in numerous kind of avenues. And the reason they're doing this is they want to start collecting data. Right now, it's only limited with a few merchants. And again, the main purpose is to kind of be able to collect data, to be able to learn from both the consumers. What do the consumers want from these autonomous vehicles and autonomous delivery system? What is the best kind of interaction for the consumer and these kind of robots? The second is what are the merchants want and how well could these systems kind of be able to meet the merchant's request. So a lot is happening here. I do believe this is super cool because we are kind of seeing this technology evolve over time. Right now we're seeing it in things like autonomous vehicles, but I do believe that technology will kind of move its way here to kind of autonomous delivery systems. All right, so now that we're done talking with some cool tech, let's go talk about some semiconductors. So first, we're going to start off with China's top chip maker, SMIC, announced that there is a bit of a slower demand for consumer products. And for those not familiar with SMIC, this is Semiconductor Manufacturing International, and it's a kind of a Chinese pure play for the semiconductor foundry business. So think of TSMC, right? Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, but this is a TSMC kind of business for China. So they focus mainly in Chinese companies. So the CEO told analysts that demand for smartphones, PCs, and home appliances have decreased dramatically, and for numerous reasons. First is the war in Ukraine is either causing Sales to slump in Russia, and people in Ukraine are cutting down on non-essential spending. The second thing is they are seeing stricter lockdowns in China, which is impacting some of their customers. The most is with smartphone customers, which is reducing shipments by about 200 million units this year. And that is super important because the smartphone industry is very, very important, especially for these foundry businesses. We saw, for example, TSMC, it represents about 40% of total revenue. For SMIC, this means that smartphone chips are going to take up only 29% of the foundry's total manufacturing capacity, as opposed to 50% of last year. So even though SMIC is more of a Chinese pure play, I do believe there are a lot of big companies in the United States, like Apple, that deal with kind of consumer spending products, like the iPhones in China. So kind of taking a quick look of what's happening in the market there can maybe help us kind of foresee or kind of think or prepare ourselves to maybe some kind of volatility that some of our big tech giants might see. All right, so the final news is going to be related about Nvidia, and I'm going to say this is going to be the last time this week that I'm going to talk about this company for personal reasons, right? So Nvidia right now, there are reports that their next generation of RTX graphics cards are expected in early Q3 of this year. So that could be as early as June, July, or August, which is a lot sooner than many expected. I personally believe they were going to start releasing in September. But there is an Nvidia leaker, and a reliable at that. I think that's actually a pretty cool gig if you are considered an Nvidia leaker. And for those that follow graphics cards, we know they usually come out with the higher end. So the 4090, 4080, and 4070 are expected in Q3. We might hear some more news about it in the upcoming weeks. On May 23rd, Nvidia is actually hosting a keynote where they might be explaining some of their future products, right? So we might hear an update on when these new generations of graphics cards will be in about a week. Another thing that we're seeing, rumors are saying that this RTX 4090 is expected to be 2 times as powerful as the RTX 3090. And let me say, that is insane. Huge power boost. Another thing is they are seeing an increase of power needed for these graphics cards, something a lot of people have been worrying about. We kind of saw earlier reports of something around 600 watts needed, but now we're kind of seeing rumors that is closer to the 450 watts, which is a lot closer to kind of the high tier system. I do want to mention that, who knows, maybe one of the main reasons that they're seeing a huge boost in these graphics cards right now is they are moving to TSMC for all GPUs this year. The 3000 series, some of those were being made by Samsung Foundry, right? But it does seem for the upcoming generations and even for their Hopper GPUs, right, they are going to be using TSMC. So I do believe, and their 5 nanometer process, right? So I'm super excited. I do believe that's a huge win for TSMC, but also a huge win for Nvidia. So that's it for today's tech news. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.